Hey everybody, I'm Adam.
I'm Sam.
I'm Caleb.
And I'm Will.
And we are
Working Title!
Send out a stand. Oh, okay, linked up. Adam, you
We
gotta
just
go.
became a
We became a
fucking
mech.
monster.
We just became a mech.
Oh, guys, we're back with CyberPunk. Edgerunners, episode 10.
Punk.
My man. Oh, sorry. My moon. My man. Last on.
David turned to a mecha.
And we're going to save Lucy.
Yep.
So make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Let us know some shows you would like to see in the future. We might get around to them, we might not.
Probably not.
Who
Openers.
the hell knows? Leave a comment down below your thoughts on the finale when you first watched it, and check out the Patreon if you want to do so. Watch it.
Control! I'm burning!
Doesn't it look like he's falling apart there?
Yeah. Epic.
That was my guy! Ow! This is so bad intel. So many.
Oh! Gosh!
Well, where now? Arasaka! HQ? City Center? That's right!
That's like the map in the game.
We're saving
Isn't that
Lucy!
cool?
Why do we even bother letting cars follow us? Go crazy and destroy the 4. You've already destroyed like
How's he
100.
fit inside the car?
Just gotta rest
Exactly.
my ass a
Like
sec.
that.
Hey folks, military's multiplying.
Shake him off! David's gotta take 5!
What? Right now?
Yeah.
Dog, you just wiped out the whole battalion.
Well, I'll fire 5. You leave it to me.
Oh!
God.
It like completely shot somebody in the half.
The rep car from Fast and Furious. It's gonna keep got a wrecking ball. Or an anchor. That actually looks like the shotgun from Gears.
Masher.
The test subject is already in the city and our recovery team is in position. Based on his current trajectory, we estimate a 74% chance that this is his destination.
Christ, Faraday. So much for perfection.
Quite the promotion.
I don't like his voice in this show.
No?
Yet even this leap I consider only.
It sounds like he's doing something like this. Every time he talks in this show, he's doing something like this.
I like it.
Faraday.
I like it.
TV, what's the holdup?
David donned the cyber skeleton.
But it's nothing Arasaka's recovery team can't clean up, I'm sure.
Maybe, but not about the chance it. Did my part, so I'm skipping town.
Not quite. I'm en route to deliver the runner girl to Arasaka. I'll need you as backup.
looks horrible.
Meet me at the drop point. You'll get your cut then. Besides, I hope to see you one last time. We owe ourselves that much.
He's gonna kill her. No cut for her.
Doing.
Yeah. Do you feel like a traitor?
Dummy. Stupid.
I think the DR.
Maybe.
What?
I love that transition so much. Cyber psychosis, man.
Remember, this is the walk he took every day to
Hey,
school.
the guy's not there anymore. I told her.
Everett, it's just him now.
Bro, what? I'm losing it.
Exact crossroads.
Crap.
He's back home for the first time in a while.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Oh!
Okay, that was insane. That was a crazy ass transition. Whoa.
Immunoblockers are military issue. 9 times your customary dosage.
That was like one of my favorite things in the show so far.
Crazy,
I love
but
it.
they only delay the effects,
Damn.
not erase them.
Your guns are mine.
Well, I thought I just had the Transformer sound for a second. It sounds like it's in the music incorporated. It's so weird.
Jeez.
That was cool.
That's awesome.
Trail of
That's
potholes.
so genius. How does he do that while also being in the car? That's crazy. Oh no.
Cyberpsychosis is real. Whoa. This is trippy.
You have to work hard and rise through the ranks. My son at Arasaka Tower, top
So do
floor.
I.
I can just see it. You've got this, deed, smartest person I know. You're right, Mom. I know I can. I'll do my
Oh
best.
no.
Got my
No.
word. Arasaka
Jump all the way to the top.
All right, David. Let's go to the top then.
So what's the plan?
Nothing's changed. We knock on Sokka's door.
Let him blow the fucking thing up.
There's no one else.
What about the moon date though?
Not doing any more work for you.
Is
his
that
eyes?
so? Such a shame.
They're like pet dogs.
Oh.
My contract stipulates I get rid of anyone who knows about the cyber skeleton. No special exceptions. Even you.
Yeah.
Go after her.
Nice.
It's so funny. It's insane.
He's a 5-star criminal.
Oh, you don't say?
That's true.
Backstab
That's actually real.
Dispatched. City authorities are treating this as a cyber psycho incident. What a mess. He has to burn out on his own. No one can stop him now.
I can think of one individual who can.
Who might that be?
Adam Smasher.
He's
Are you
alive?
serious?
What?
Utterly. Extreme situations require extreme solutions.
But still, the time it would take him to...
Not a problem.
Oh,
He's actually just been sitting there the whole time.
oh
The
no!
cyber skeleton
What's up,
is
Adam?
usually designated for him. So if
Oh my god.
Looks like a Sith.
Look at him, dude.
Insane.
Gone. Just drop out, why don't you? What, are you afraid of getting caught? Because I know I sure as shit ain't.
Oh!
Max Tech Freak's coming at us! Just fucking try!
He's just like living his experience
Yeah.
of violence.
Hey! Mama! Mom!
He's lifting it?
Yeah.
He's dropping it.
We're drunk. Okay.
I'm looking at here.
Falco, listen. Faraday, well, my time's ticking down.
Got you too, did he?
Yep. Did tag his AV though. Set a new chords.
No, they play the music when Bane died.
Yeah, the song.
It's
It's
time.
not like that. Taught Lucy never to trust a soul in this city.
Heck.
Everyone turns on you.
See, these guys look like the bots from Blade Runner. These guys that Faraday has walking
Faraday's
around.
long overdue to learn an important lesson.
I bet she's gonna blow herself up or something.
Go get her for me.
Oh, never mind. Dude. Damn.
He got one.
That's how it goes.
Kiwi's a flatline, boss man. Nasty business.
Live alone, die alone.
Cut him off.
Hey!
Let's get airborne.
Guys, it's a flying car!
That can't be David.
This bullshit. Oh god.
Oh my gosh. They went so far off course.
Hey guys.
It's the loading dock.
Oh, do the puncture
Faraday
thing.
arriving shortly to deliver the Netrunner.
As I thought, Martinez is after our fixer, not us. Keep them on course for the dog. You'll meet them there. Make sure that mangy fixer never makes it past the loading dock. Not a single step.
Faraday's dead as fuck.
You're up against the cyber skeleton.
Let's go.
Expect you'll have
Let's
some
go.
fun. A smasher.
Smasher.
Freaking shot.
toy reliant on anti-gravity training.
His voice is so cool.
Not even worth my time.
Not even worth my time. Might be the coolest character.
It's definitely the coolest design in the show.
Kill him, you fools! Fire at will! Hurry! No one's there!
I'm ready for this. Though I kind of want Adam Smasher to definitely win.
He made it, guys, to the top of Saka Tower. And now he's gonna blow it all up.
One last fire left. Hey, Doc. Once you go screaming over the edge, it's all over. Ain't no fucking coming back from that. Does it matter if you're special or not? You were right.
Just like he started, dropping off the ledge.
Not for me.
I brought the runner girl, didn't I? Alive and worth the full million is agreed.
Do you know what happens to dogs who have a habit of misbehaving?
Is that a threat? The data you seek is still in my hands. You'd waste this chance.
You will not step 1 foot inside the facility. This is non-negotiable.
That would be very unwise of you. With the information I have at my disposal, you must surely see you cannot afford to keep me off your payroll.
You have failed your assignment.
He's so massive.
Lucy.
David.
That was pretty lit.
All my guns.
Mow the lawn. Oh, good God. That guy.
Whoa!
You see, the cyber skeleton returned to you as promised.
Just died, dude.
How
did you not
to do
die?
that. Probably aimed at the leg.
Oh, no, you don't. You ain't flatlining just yet.
Adam Smasher, hurry! Go on, kill him!
He's gonna shoot him.
Who the fuck are you? Do your job! My
Give a
business
shit.
is with the kid.
That's Adam Smasher.
Shit,
So this is Adam Smasher.
He's facing up with Slasher.
Let's go.
Man of legend.
You're packing some pretty heavy artillery for your size, boy. I'm surprised you could string 2 words together.
Likewise, Choom. Heard you went no-organic, full bork, so I gotta ask, any brain left in that chrome dome of yours?
Could say I'm special.
So the fuck am I?
Yeah.
That a joke? Thank God you made it.
Why does he have insurance?
Can you really afford distractions now?
Dude, that's so long.
What the fuck? There's 2 of them.
Coming in the covers.
Oh my gosh.
What just happened?
He's going so fast.
He's got one too.
Oh!
Between your lines.
David, come on! Can you hear me? I'm right here. It's me. It's Lucy. Please. David, come back.
Jeez, man.
Come back.
Oh.
Lucy.
He's back. Put them back together.
Oh, David.
If only that was enough. Hopefully it's enough, but maybe it's one more like drug dosage. The dopamine will carry him through.
You did. But you never had to save me. All I ever wanted was for you. Was for you to live.
Well, what's the purpose of living if you're not in
Lucy.
it?
Besides you, I got nothing left. But you still have a dream to stick around for.
Yeah.
Need you to see it through. That's my dream. Honestly, nothing else ever really mattered.
Oh, Adam Smasher.
Gotta take the elevator.
Look at him.
Yes.
Look at him. Oh my God. He's so tough.
I love this aerial
Bye
battle.
bye.
Oh!
Bitch. Oh, look at all your eyes, dude. Loser.
He's starting to run low on lead.
You might want to move. Oh, never mind. Hey, guys.
Hey, we made it.
Sure, take your sweet time, gone friend.
Oh, jeez.
Need a favor.
Glad you're back safe.
For David's sake, I mean. We're having a moment here!
No! Damn!
Not Rebecca.
Damn, Rebecca. Oh, man.
Why my two favorite characters have to
Come on!
Son of a...
Oh, that guy.
Falco.
You have a said devastator? A rudimentary implant.
I'm the one you're after, ain't I?
All the same meat to me.
Oh,
I'll
gosh.
each and every one of you.
Not unless I zero your ass first!
I love all the heads too.
Yeah.
Following. It's so cool, man.
Out of suppression.
Oh, my God.
No, you don't!
Whoa, did you see his like, skull? Look at that.
It's the human under him too, right? It has to be a person.
Severed that dude. Said no.
David, go back there, please. Turn around.
None leave the slaughterhouse.
Oh, gosh.
Distracted much.
You. Boy, you.
How do you get on him?
Dude, he's so insane.
He's David, but stronger.
Getting a spectacle so scrappy.
Oh, God.
Don't make me laugh.
Goodbye, David.
Falco, turn back.
No can do. Was David's final request.
Yeah, you ain't
If I
gonna
turn
do it.
around now, he dies for nothing. He also told me to tell you.
Oh.
Sorry. Wish we could go to the moon together.
No, David. I wonder. I don't even know if they'll get out though.
I had some fun after all. You know, you could prove an interesting construct.
Whatever,
Oh.
Zoom. Like I give a shit.
Oh, well.
You better freaking make it to the moon.
Thank you for joining us on today's tour.
Yeah, she did it. Oh, but it's worth nothing by herself.
She goes to the dark side and finds Transformers.
God damn it. That would be the good ending.
Whoa!
But we'll give you a better one.
I can feel the sun!
That is a wrap on CyberPunk. Yeah. Christmas. That ended so freaking fast.
Yeah, it did.
Jeez.
It did end fast.
Well. Best episode for me.
I agree. I think it was the best episode for me too. I think, do you care to talk about the whole... Do you care if I talk about the whole show instead of just this episode, or... I'm not... Do you want to talk through the episode first before talking about the series? Or?
Just to praise the episode very quickly.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, I'll say it gave some of my favorite moments just off rip. I was saying I love that transition, because in episode 6, Maine was given those transitions with, like, he's starting to see himself on, like, that track that he ran, that, like, unfinished highway. And I guess that was cool, and they didn't show it, like, the same way as David, but I think the fact that he was, like, in real time, still driving.
Going to those places, literally.
But despite the drive, his mind, like, mentally checked out, so it was like his body, like, stayed wherever the last location was. The car kept on moving in real time. His body froze in the highway, and it threw me off. I was like, what? And then it just, like, of course, later on hit me that instead of, like, the highway that was Maine's special place, the city that he grew up in is, like, his special place. Yeah. And then the retransition, it also tricked me because it looked like his body was the reason for the crash, even though it was the car that appeared through traffic, keep on going. It was just a really unique way to do that similar transition. Yeah. That was a really sick transition for me. I mean, even Maine's was cool too. I don't think we acknowledged that point in episode 6 because there was just a lot going on, and we wanted to express our feelings in that moment about how the show wasn't really doing it much for us at the time. But
that was a cool moment for
that was a cool moment.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked in the episode too, like just taking each, especially too, like as he was living through his journey that we've seen on the show. We got to see it from like episode 1, like when he had the mental breakdown. I was like, "Mom, I got you. I'm gonna get to the top of Arasaka Tower." And then we saw like the fight with the bully. You know, his first encounter with the mechs or whatever they're called. I forget. The guys that capture the cyber psychosis people. Max Tag, yeah. Like, you know, we got to see each of those iterations of him, and even him saying the same lines and doing the same motion.
But he also got to, in his mind, he got to succeed where he failed last time.
That is true, yeah.
Because instead of freezing, he shot all those guys.
Yeah.
Or instead of getting beat up the first time, he fights back.
Yeah.
But in his mind, it's happening, but in reality, he's just killing dudes.
Yeah, so he got to actually live the good version of his life.
Yeah.
Or the successful
like
one.
a good delusional version of his life.
Yeah.
I also think in terms of spectacle, this episode had the best use of, like, being unique with previous established moves. Yeah. Like, the Set and Devastan was extra cool in this episode, but also just the chase sequence was cool. Yeah. Like, I liked the car getting shoved up against the building. It ricocheted up and landed on top. I like the way they used the car as like a boomerang to hit Faraday later on in the episode. Yeah. I like David using his impact move against the highway while driving in real time to cause traffic jams. Yeah. That was unique. And then you already said the other one too. Like, the show, plot-wise, using his past experiences to also coincide with real-time action sequences for him, which is a cool way to see it. Because they didn't do that with Maine. They didn't take Maine's past in fighting sequences. And they also kept on only going back to one sequence for Maine. He's not the main character of the show, so they didn't really want to give us a whole bunch of random moments in his life. It would probably throw the viewer off. But because we saw David's journey, it was able to make sense.
Yeah. And even like too, I forgot to mention it last episode, but the stuff that the San Devastan has done in the past 2 episodes, or what they have done with it, has been really cool. Like when he was standing up on top of the truck last episode, and he like slowly got up, and you could see the trail like falling behind him as he was standing there before he made the call to do the final move to catch the Arasaka tech last episode, and then in this one like him and Atom Smasher having the conversation while they're both in the San Devastan at the same time. Like you can see the hundreds of heads going one direction, them both just staring at each other, or him with the 3 versions of him running around because he was going so fast, all ending up at the same location.
Yeah.
It was just cool. I feel like in the past, especially the past 2 episodes, but this one specifically, they'd done a lot more interesting stuff than they have in the first few episodes.
Also, I couldn't believe Adam Smasher was brought back in for the final show.
I know. Yeah. Was he at the beginning of the show?
He was in the first mentioned him like one time.
No, he was mentioned like a flashback with Ripper Doc in like episode 6 or 7 or something.
As like the legend of cyber psychosis, or fully cyber guy.
It was the moment when David was like thinking he's like the shit, like Himothy.
You're no Adam Smasher, boy. That's like what he says.
And he was like, yeah, you're no different than Adam Smasher.
You're no Adam Smasher.
There are previous ones that have come before you, thought they were the best and failed. But we, the audience, were supposed to believe, I think, Adam Smasher had failed. But in reality, he had far superseded David. Yeah. I really, if he's not in the video game, I'm going to be pissed. Because that guy is the coolest looking character in the show, hands down. It's not even a question for me.
Yeah, he looked awesome.
And he just, I think that was another highlight, is that coming out of left field and having no part in the plot other than being better David and a warning sign to like technology not working, but also giving the biggest plot twist, showing that somehow some manner it worked for this guy.
Yeah.
Because he was... Well, David goes... Well, you have the 7 Never Stand too? And he's like, yeah, that's like the random first thing I got.
Yeah, it was just what do you say?
A rudimental
implant.
Yeah, like this thing is nothing.
This is like basic.
This is just how my knee function.
Yeah.
And that's your biggest thing.
He said, I'm special. And David's like, fuck you, I'm special too.
And he's like, yeah. Right.
He's like, not as special as me.
He's like, you're just scrappy.
Yeah.
You think you're special because you're scrappy? Like,
and that's like,
much.
The show is already so horrendously, what's the term? Like, depressing in terms of not being able to overcome. But I don't think there's anything worse than... Like, that's not why I think Atom Smasher works for me with the theme of the show, is there's nothing worse when the show is already aiming the heroes to never be able to succeed. But worse, somebody who is... Like, when the special child is the main character of the show, you bring the person who just makes the main character look like he's nothing in the end.
Yeah.
You've built him to be this hero complex. Yeah. Guess what? You're nothing to the people that are in charge of you.
Yeah. To the villain that you literally could never supersede.
And he came out of nowhere. He was a non-component,
a non-factor.
He was a non-factor that was the biggest portion of everything you could have worked up to get, and you still couldn't even hold a fight for more than a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So goes in line with the theme. You fail before you begin, and jeez, dude, why did they have to kill Rebecca? That doesn't even they could have just killed the guy. The guy that no one cares about, the Matthew Mercer Falco guy.
Yeah.
Rebecca would have been better suited for the story to leave with Lucy because she had the connection with David.
Yeah, how heartwarming that was. Yeah.
I thought that would have been better for the story because she was the one talking to David in the last moments of his desperation.
Right.
It should have been her being like, "Hey, he told me ahead of time that this was the plan," rather than the freaking cowboy who's played no role in the story.
Right.
Yeah. I think that was a little odd.
I think that was mismatched, but that was my only criticism is that portion, the Rebecca not making it out.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Lucy made it, but I'm happy story-wise that she made it.
Yeah, me too.
I expected everybody to die.
I did too.
I'm with you, yeah.
But I'm happy that I was wrong this time around.
Thank God Faraday turned into a puddle at the end of this.
Yeah.
This was pieces.
Just 6 eyes.
Falling down on the ground. I was very happy about that.
And ultimately, with Lucy surviving, it's a little contrasting to the overall theme of the show so far because she was able to get her dream.
Yeah.
But that leaves you with the theme being, sacrifices required.
Right.
Having to go above and beyond and also sacrifice being a huge role in that.
Well, and even, too, you gotta remember, David did accomplish his dream. His dream was her dream happening.
Right.
Yeah. That was his, because there was at one point in the show, too, where he was kind of talking about, what do you want to do, with David? And he didn't really have, a goal in mind. His goal was, getting money to get
you said
Lucy
to finish what Maine started, which was just gain money.
Yeah, but even then, it's in reality, his goal ended up being getting Lucy to the moon by any means necessary, even if that meant him. And it's clear because even in that last conversation he had with Lucy, she's like, I didn't want this. I want you to live, and he's like, this is how it was always going to end up for me. This is where I was heading based on my, path in life. I was going to end up like this. Everybody's been telling him, lay off the chrome, and it's too late, Yeah. So,
I think this is the first episode I could genuinely say I would want to watch again, a second time.
Yeah.
Every other episode, probably not. I can't see myself doing it, but I'd watch this fight again. I think the spectacle was very fun for me.
Yeah.
This is probably the only time I'll watch this show.
Yeah, well, I said, just this episode alone, I would definitely want to watch again. But, any other thoughts? Because now I guess we can talk as the show the whole.
Well, I'll give, because I know our thoughts are going to be mostly negative, I'll actually give a positive takeaway. Because I think this finale genuinely surprised me for how the show has turned out as a whole. I actually found it, really beautiful in the way that, the art and the way the story played out, just alone that the David's life and that last conversation with Lucy got played out in this, it made me go back and think about the moments in David's life that we've seen in the show so far. And I don't know, it just, because a lot of time when we were watching the first couple episodes, I was trying to wrap my head around, like, why do people love this show so much? Like,
Yeah.
it just kind of seems like goofy, wacky, wild, artistic and
Visual diarrhea.
and gory. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's visual diarrhea. It seems very intentional.
Yeah.
Other than the body parts falling apart, like that seems like diarrhea. But like, you know what I mean?
I just mean like diarrhea. Just like everything is just thrown at you that you can think of.
Fair, yeah. But anyways, I like in the beginning I'm like, I don't really understand this, but then kind of getting the finale, it kind of makes the whole story a little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
Just seeing like David coming to terms with like where his life's gonna end up and choosing to, for better or for worse, he chose to kind of ruin his own life for somebody else.
Yeah.
To achieve, to sacrifice himself to make another person's life better, and someone he cared about, the only person he really had in his life and cared about.
Yeah.
And he realized, the way life was, he couldn't save his mom, he couldn't save his mentor, he couldn't save other crew members. Like, all these people have died in front of him, but the one person he's managed to protect and get to where they want to be is Lucy.
Yeah.
And I was just surprised. I just didn't expect it to have like a kind of horrendous but beautiful cap off at the end of the show. So I was like, oh wow, I actually appreciate the show a lot more than I did initially. I still have gripes with it, but
yeah, I do have gripes too. But I'm honestly gonna say the second half did save it a tiny bit for me compared to where we last picked up when we gave some complaints during episode 6. I think the biggest thing that helped me is coming to terms with what is my best assessment on what I think the show's purpose is to serve in terms of a story for audiences. And I think the original reason I didn't like it, the 1 through 5, is because it wasn't a theme that's something I enjoy consuming, but I think it still hits home the purpose of what it wanted to do as a TV show. So I think when we end up giving our number, our like little 1 to 10 scale, it's going to be on the higher end rather than the lower. But
yeah,
I think my problem, if I had to jump into any problems with the show, is that it was hard to find the meaning in it until very late into the game. And so it left me watching the show one at a time per week a bit confused and disengaged. Here's the problem. And that's more of a us fault because we're a reaction channel that watch it week to week rather than how the show was given to people, binged.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better as a binge show if I had to be honest.
Yeah.
Like Stranger Things.
And that's one of the things, like, we wouldn't have...
Yeah.
It's hard to know, like, whether... Just because of, for anybody that's unaware of the other side, 4 people, we all have lives, we try and figure out when to watch things. Right. And a lot of times we're already watching stuff, so it's like, okay, like, we'll do 2 episodes this night, maybe 3 on this night. Okay, we got a lot of other stuff going on. Attack on Titan just came out, like, so we're going to just do 1 tonight, whatever it is. Yeah. So, yeah, that is more of, like, an us fault. I just don't think that, like... I just don't think that shows should be, like, the crux of it, or, like, how someone perceives it. I don't think necessarily should be based on how much they consume it. Now, of course, if we're talking about, like, you watched episode 1 and then 2 years later you watched episode 2, that's obvious. But, like, a week-to-week thing, or even a couple days apart, shouldn't make, like, the world of difference about how the show is. Because, like, my gripe with it is that I just don't feel like anything was super fleshed out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like characters really felt like...
Nothing grabbed me. No characters.
But that's where I said, like, the overall problem. Like, when do we start this? In January or something? Maybe? January?
Yeah, I think it was after the new year.
Okay. Well, but, like, even that, like, the show's not the type of show, in my opinion, that has enough sustenance to carry long conversations for 1 episode. However, I think there's good conversation to come out of the show's themes as a whole after several episodes. And I think that's, like, the biggest problem is, like, the first episode's like tragedy, second episode betrayal, third episode chaos, fourth episode loss, and then we slowly get to 5 and 6, which is like despair. Then it's a whole reset, and that's the problem. Is like by episode 6, after 6 weeks of waiting, and then episode 7 kicks in. I think that's when it's like you see it's a cycle. But for us, it would have been like the 7th week in that we start to like see, okay, so this is where the story is. It's not, the first 6 episodes feel to me like the lead up to the message that comes after the loss that they experience with Maine and all of that, because we see David now becoming Maine, and that's where it hit for me. Okay.
Yeah. When you see him literally filling the shoes of the guy that already fucked up and almost going down the exact same path.
Yeah. And not learning from the horrible, like, just jumping right back into the cycle and not being able to break out of this, like, oppressive state from, like, lower class thugs in a big city of skyscraper people. Yeah. So, I think that's why I will say, like, I think, just to, like, jump the gun, because we'll give our breakdown. I feel like, for me, a couple weeks ago, I was at like a 5 or 6 with the show, and then I boosted up to a 7 within the past few episodes, and then honestly at the finale, I could give it an 8.
Yeah.
But with the stipulation, I don't know if the show's for my particular taste.
Yeah.
From more of an art standpoint, and that once I've said that multiple weeks now, that's more of just a me thing. There's no beef with the show. It's just a visual taste. Just like some people don't care for romance, some people don't like to listen to orchestrated music or musicals. Like, it's more of a taste thing rather than a discredit to the show.
Yeah.
I think 8 would be more than fair in my opinion, but I don't think I'd give it more than that. I don't think it would be like a 5-star. Though I will say I like the message it gives. I have not seen a show that like shows that you can't overcome. Or if you do, you have to give everything and your life.
For someone else.
For someone else to get to experience that.
For your friend or spouse or girlfriend's dream.
Yeah.
You give up literally all of your friends and yourself.
Yeah.
Just to go to the moon.
There are other shows, but I'd say this was the show that made it the hardest to see that was what the show was trying to do.
Yeah.
And I think that goes with one of the criticisms, which is that the show is visual diarrhea.
Yeah.
A lot of boobs, a lot of blood, a lot of guts, a lot of plots that are throwing you off for the overall theme. And it made it very confusing. And a lot of terminology that just is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Like what, dude? It's all normal and fine.
Choom choom, a gonk, eddies. Yeah.
I don't know. Would we understand this show a little more if we played the game first?
No, I don't think so. No? It's a prequel. I don't think you have to.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it wouldn't matter. You would
get the grasp of the world, I would assume.
Right, that's what I mean. And I would know the world a little better.
And you would see locations that you saw if you played the game or the show. Everywhere that they go is somewhere in the game.
I'll agree with you on that point. I think the game would have helped with that point. Because a whole Arasaka, Mech Tech, or Militech, just they could have just done one for the show, and it would have been fine. We could have gotten the same theme, the same hard-hitting message, and I just think all the random groups was just so much to handle.
It was dropped on you
with short series.
At like once. I started to get really confused on was it episode 7 when we got Lucy's backstory?
Yeah.
That's where I started to get confused on what was happening.
Internet torrent girl.
Yeah, that really fried my brain.
I think that was just a reskin for Child Soldier. I think you could just chalk it up to that.
Yeah, you could literally insert any kind of child soldiering story and do it that.
Ignore everything about the reskinning.
Literally Elle from Stranger Things.
Yeah, just make it like that.
Yeah.
And Will, I think you nailed it. For me, it was the inconsistency of watching this show. And there's only so much we can do about that.
Yeah. I just don't think that show... Like, I just feel like a little bit to discredit the show. Like, if your show that needs to be watched all at once, you know what I mean, to really be like digested in a good way and be entertaining and likable. And yeah, we could be the only people on the planet that think that. Whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
But like, if that's the case, like, I just would be like, okay, maybe we should rework the show. Maybe we should rework the story a little bit better to make it, more appeasing for the person that's not going to be like the D-gen that sits there and watches this for like 7 hours on a day. You know what I mean? You didn't watch it for 7 hours on a day. Did you really?
Yeah.
You play CyberPunk.
Okay, also, but you do like mad things. You'll be like doing 5 things and watching the show at the same time.
It was only like a Saturday and I just sat there.
That's fair. It was also a weekend. Okay, other things I loved about the show. Voice acting, I think, was great. I think all the characters did an amazing job. I'm sure in the Japanese dub, which I'm kind of curious how that kind of comes off too. I'm sure they killed it too, but because we watched it in English, I loved David. I loved Rebecca. Maine was awesome.
Yeah.
Faraday was cool.
I didn't like Lucy. I didn't like Lucy that much.
The voice actor or the character?
The voice actress. Okay. I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah,
I thought it was a pretty generic voice.
You guys care if I look up the voice actors?
Sure.
No.
I just don't want to insult her if she watches the reaction. I just didn't think it was that good.
I just know David is English Tanjiro, and there was another one I can't remember.
I loved Adam Smasher's voice.
Adam Smasher was
He has
awesome.
the same voice in the game, and it's very cool.
Yes, he's in the game. Let's go.
Woo!
Yes.
I love them panning to him just sitting on a couch. They're like, "Oh, please don't tell the higher ups."
He's doing the David pose,
He
but
literally
he
was sitting
mastered
like
it.
But and he was probably naked, but you can't tell because he's a full robot.
Well, he is naked. He doesn't wear clothes.
But what if he's wearing like
David didn't have
What if
a
he's wearing
member
pants?
below.
What happened?
Oh yeah.
David was butt ass naked. He didn't have any parts. He was just,
why didn't it? Did it remove his?
I guess Sendevastan doesn't require other parts.
It's not the Sendevastan.
You just go crazy.
Maybe
Go
he had a
stupid.
little Sendevastan there. Yeah.
What was Matthew Mercer for Falco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
McCree. Did you
that.
see that McCree lost his hand in this show too?
That was really funny. That made me
lost
laugh.
his
This is like a
hand.
prequel for Overwatch.
Yeah, this is the Overwatch prequel. Give him a hat.
Music was good. I enjoyed the music.
The music was cool.
The visuals were good.
Visuals were good.
Some of the visuals I liked. I don't think I could remember a single song from this show, honestly.
I love the main song. I love the main theme.
You were singing the song at the fight, yeah.
Well, they played that like 8 times in the show.
Yeah,
I've also
I
seen.
haven't played
Wow,
it.
that's my first time hearing it.
They played it like once per episode.
I think
not that much. It was
the
like every
main
2
the
or
main
3
song was
episodes.
good. I picked up on the main song from his death being used as the death for them in this episode. They actually did bring it up. They brought back another song. It might be the one you're talking about. It was when Lucy was like yelling at Dora, like she doesn't want to do the mission. But they brought that song back into the
Who?
finale. Dora? Who's the girl?
Oh, Dorio.
Dorio. Yeah,
Big
Dorio.
girl. Dora.
They brought a song from one of the other previous episodes in that I liked. So, and then the Moon song.
Yeah, the Moon song.
And there's the mischievous song that when Maine was showing David the ropes, they're like, bam, 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 bam. Love that song too.
So, yeah, I guess at that point, now it's time to do our 3 favorite characters, or do we just want to do one because it's a small cast?
Can we just do one?
You can do.
Because Adam doesn't know 3 characters.
do one character. Main. I'll say number 1, Adam Smasher. Number 2,
He got 2 minutes of screen time, and
Yep.
he kills the main character.
I don't care. Number 1 is Adam Smasher. Number 2 is Rebecca. Camera's gonna die. I'll finish with number 3 being Main as well. Alright. Then we'll come back to Caleb and Will.
Sam's favorite character is guy who slides down a building and kills our main character.
Absolutely. Without Adam Smasher, the episode would have not been given an 8 for the overall series.
Wait, you're saying that episode got an 8 or the whole series?
The episode being great helped the series for me.
Adam Smasher's voice helped the series.
Adam Smasher destroying everything, and David destroying everything.
Faraday going, kill this guy, and then Adam Smasher goes, who the fuck are you? It's my favorite line reading in the whole show.
And now, Caleb, your favorite 3?
I'll go Maine, David, and Rebecca.
Batskis.
Shut up.
Alright, I mean, that can be 2 different. I will say it. David, Maine, Rebecca.
Right.
Adam Smasher, honorable mention.
Cool for sure.
But he was only in it for 2 minutes.
Coolest character design goes to Adam Smasher.
I'm not giving him top 3 for being on screen for 2 minutes.
Right.
He does say some cold shit.
Sam said, I definitely am.
What a rudimentary upgrade you have. What do you mean?
Everything about him elicited badassery on every scale. He came in, and that's all he needed to do, and everybody just couldn't match up to him.
Sam's like, why didn't they put him in the whole show?
No, I don't care. Actually, it was great. I don't mind that he was only there for that much time. It made the show fun. All right.
You know, I'm thinking this show to me like jumped the shark.
Jumped the shark?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What's the shark that it jumped?
But what is that?
It's just so over the top that it's beyond over the top for me. It's so ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't know how else to describe it. And I didn't say it in the last recording. I thought David looked so dumb with the new cyber skeleton.
I think it looks cool as shit.
I think it looked weird, but it made up in what it could do. I
mean, I kind of want to give it credit because it is that's what the show is. It's ridiculous, but I just couldn't get into it.
It made you actually appreciate his Seven Devastan, though. That moment where he
yes,
showed
in the
up.
last episode, that was a pretty badass
Or even
moment.
this one, where he showed up out of nowhere and took out all the villains.
It looked like he divided himself into 3 versions of himself at one point. Because there's,
because he was going so fast, he was hitting all the guys.
And I love that he used it on Faraday, too, just to obliterated his leg. Like it was nothing.
He used the strongest move
so
and made it slightly less effective just to torture him.
Yeah.
He hated him so much.
And I also love the fight coming out of the skyscraper and them getting that moment to like talk while they're falling. That was pretty cool.
And Adam Smasher's in an elevator just going, shut up!
Alright, 3 favorite episodes.
This one, the main one, and the first one.
The first episode?
Yeah.
Mine is the exact same, minus the first episode. Replace it with probably episode 2 because of the moon scene with Lucy.
Oh shit.
Oh shoot! Wait, the moon scene's on 1. Okay,
No, that's episode 2.
Switch it to 2.
Whichever episode Rebecca's brother got his head blown off. 2 because the moon shot, and I'll give it to this last episode.
10, the moon, and then Lucy's backstory. That was 7?
7. That was a great one too. That was actually pretty good. And then
you gave your rankings for the whole series.
Yeah, I'll say it's 8 out of 10.
Yay! Redemption.
Though
Adam Smasher.
Adam Smasher gave it +3.
That's more of a bit. Episode 10 was amazing, and I think 9 was actually a great segue.
9 was really good.
And also, like I said, I liked 6 a lot. I liked Lucy's episode. I think the one in between was the worst out of this last 5 or whatever. Episode 8, I couldn't even tell you what happened other than Kiwi's betrayal.
Yeah.
I think that was the most non-episode I've ever seen. But I think it's 8 out for me.
4 out of 10.
Okay. Fair. Caleb?
Big 9.5 out of 10. I love this show.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 8 as well, but I will say before, I think everything leading up to 6, even though I love the moon episode, the way the story was, episodes 1 through 6, I was leaning towards a 5.
But
exactly. The way this show ended made it an 8 to me.
Do you think it would have been better if we got more seasons?
I don't think it. To me, it's not more seasons. I just think that the lack of fleshing out of some of the character, I just feel like at one point Rebecca, I love Rebecca. Rebecca was one of my favorite characters, but she just randomly dropped in, was here, and then just a part of the crew. There was no we don't get backstories on any of these people. Yeah. We don't have motivations behind any one of them. We don't understand where they come from. Why are they here? What they're doing?
Yeah, that's where I think the show could have excelled in the first few episodes. Instead, they wasted a lot of back plot with conspiracy about all the groupings. Get rid of the groupings, spend some time on the characters, and better establish the overall theme of not being able to escape the oppressive state they're born into. Yeah. If they did that, I think the show would have been great. It still wouldn't have been my favorite or preferred type of show, but it's the same. It's the whole conversation of there can still be a 10 out of 10 type of show, but it's not a show that you like at all. You can appreciate that it's good, but it has nothing to do with the things that you enjoy in it. I think I don't enjoy the show, but I can at least understand that the theme is a really cool theme that you don't see enough in show telling.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's why I've been talking about it in multiple post talks now, because I think it's the only big driving force for why I actually do like the show. But there's so many reasons for not to like it. I think the relationship with Lucy was a really rushed and really botched relationship. The moments that it could have been really cool to see, they removed.
Yeah.
Like, just seeing their relationship build, and then we just jumped straight to the sex. And even though the show loves to show all kinds of forms of, like, sexualization, we didn't get, like, an intimate moment. We didn't even have to have the sex. Just, like, show it, but it just got teased.
Yeah.
So we got that ripped out of it, and it was used as, like, a side joke. And we're like, okay, so now we've, like, jumped the gun with the relationship.
Well, it was weird because it's like we didn't get, like, other than their initial meeting and then her kind of being standoffish, we didn't get a build-up to relationship. We didn't even get, like, a honeymoon phase. It was like we literally got from, like, meeting to being, like, initial, like, okay, then we had the sex, and then we just jumped to a relationship in disarray, and they don't speak.
A broken
It was like we didn't get any of the reasoning, as other than, like, yes.
It was a bullet point relationship.
Yeah, everything was bullet points, and we understand why it went that way, but, like, we just weren't given it. You know what I mean? Like, you show me, I want to see them fight over it before, because the only fight that we saw them have where it seemed like they were actually kind of not through with each other, but were done, was at the end of...
On the bridge?
Right, when she was like, I can't tell you.
Well, when she disappears, And it's like, they finally decided to be adult enough to have a conversation.
Right. I didn't understand Lucy's choice of not telling David anything. It was just so random. She could have saved his whole fucking life if she did.
Well, I mean, I understand why she didn't say anything. She didn't say anything because he probably would have stopped her or have been like, hey, you're not allowed to... Like, I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you going out on your own and doing these things. You know what I mean? Like she was going out there risking her neck for getting caught because he knows that she would be wanted by Arasaka at one point, and she didn't want him to know that he had, like, basically a hit out on him that was gonna, like, ruin his life.
Yeah.
And also that's the reason why, like, David's the reason why everybody's dying and all this shit's going on. Like, she was trying to protect him, and he would have wanted to protect her, and so she decided, again, like we talked about earlier, she decided to sacrifice herself and her well-being and not being a part of all the nonsense because she didn't want to, you know, like, be there for the violence of it or, like, you know, whatever. But, yeah.
Excuse me.
Do you have a favorite moment from the show? We don't really do favorite moments. I'll just say it's very obvious what mine is, so just move on.
Which Adam Smasher moment was your favorite Adam Smasher moment?
The 2 minutes he was in.
Rebecca getting dropped on? Is that your favorite moment in the show?
It's part of it.
You're a monster.
Lucy and David on the moon.
Yeah.
That was very cool.
That's good.
Yeah. The moon was great.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I love Maine's goodbye speech. Fast is what you do, ain't it?
Yeah. I thought he was such a cool character.
I love him.
Yeah, he was so awesome.
He was like his gangsta pops.
Yeah.
Taught him all the ropes.
This whole, like, psychosis thing was also really, really cool too.
Yeah.
It's
just
so
like
awesome.
Them, like, flashing to different sequences. What about you? Willem? Favorite moment?
I said the moon.
Yeah. Oh, moon as well?
So
2 for the moon?
Yeah. So when they're shaking like that in psychosis, are they actually shaking like that, or is it like just a visual representation?
It's just a visual representation of, like, their mind.
Okay.
Just, like, scattered everywhere, especially the torso. Just.
I mean, like when Lucy was doing that,
she wasn't actually
shaking with his head. She just went.
She was just grabbing his face, but she wasn't actually, like, pushing his sanity back. Like,
I think she was just.
Together.
I think
she was literally just grabbing his head.
It fit in because she was being gentle. Like, she wasn't trying to, like,
listen, wake up!
She was trying to.
You're being crazy.
She was trying to be like, shh.
Calm it, buddy.
Okay, now, in all honesty, would this make you want to play the game?
I mean, I started.
I wanted to play the game before I saw this.
Okay, but I'm saying, rolling that out, would this make you take interest? No? Okay, by itself.
I'll
say it would make me want to watch playthroughs.
Yeah,
I wouldn't play it myself, but I'd watch the YouTube for the story.
Or I would just watch, like, cutscenes.
That's what I
do
was
that.
saying. Like, I'd go find a video that says all cutscenes of the show.
If I wanted to watch somebody play it, I wouldn't want to hear the person play it. I'd rather them just play it in silence.
Yeah.
Just a walkthrough.
Yeah,
the game.
Yeah, I get that. I feel that. I'd agree.
What if you grasped the controller in your hands and then you played it?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Right. That's fair, I guess.
Just have it in the background. White noise.
I wasn't particularly interested before the show and playing the game. I still am not really. It's a cool I would prefer just them making another story, just maybe another show or something like that. I would watch another.
I'd agree. I'd like to watch a season 2. I'm sad that there's not a season 2. Or even a different story in the same world.
Yeah, different story in the same world. It doesn't necessarily have to relate to this, but just
CyberPunk Corpos.
It's a cool. It is a cool world. The world that they have is cool. I just wish we got to flesh it out a bit more. Honestly, I think it deserves more than 10 episodes.
I'm not that big into futuristic stuff. Like when Call of Duty started to go very futuristic, I'm not a fan of that. I just like the modern stuff or the old stuff, but this universe did look pretty cool to me.
Yeah. Well, I'd be curious to see how you guys feel about things like Blade Runner too.
I want to see those movies.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of other thoughts. Any last thoughts to wrap up, Caleb? Favorite show?
Not ever, but it's good.
Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot.
It's pretty good. It's like the second best Studio Trigger show.
Yeah. Well, guys, it is that time, so let us know your thoughts on the show. Did your thoughts match up to us? Did they not? What's some of your favorite episodes, your favorite character moments or characters? What is your favorite episode? And I guess we'll see this audience in gaming reactions at some point. So, love you guys. Punch it.
Wow. As Caleb dies.
As he has psychosis.
Dog.